Today, I'd like to talk about the things that I absolutely love about the Nikon ZR, and those are probably the things that you haven't heard about here on YouTube. Promise. So let's get right into it. I purchased the Nikon ZR myself in January, so it's been 4 months that I'm shooting on it. And I used it in all sorts of scenarios that you can imagine to use a camera in. From an EDC camera on vacation, shooting photography with it, street photography, professional photography, yes. I do use it as a photography camera, even in professional settings. So I do shoot portraits with it, product photography, but obviously it's used mainly as a video camera.
You just gotta go push on, you just gotta go and get it.
But I also do social media content with it, from commercial work, content creation with musicians, comedians, and myself for passion projects, even as a documentary camera. But those topics aren't what I mean when I say you haven't heard about it here on YouTube. There are a lot of photography videos, a lot of filmmaking, documentary, commercial work with it, but let's talk about things that I haven't expected to be this good and what others got wrong, which I figured out myself while doing it. So let's get right into it. First thing, the choice of lenses. I've seen a lot of YouTubers using the 35 1.4 with the Nikon ZR and talking about how soft the image is on the Nikon ZR, even in R3D. Well, this might be because of the lens. And if you use the 35 1.4 with an black mist promise filter, you shouldn't expect a sharp image. You should expect something that is so mushy that even the H.265 without anything in front of the lens looks like a clean image. Sorry for that, but this had to be said. And I know some of you watching this video right now thinking, what? Are you this kind of guy that's using sharp lenses and puts a filter in front of it to unsharpen it? Well, yes and no, brother. That's not the point on the ZR. So the ZR does have an OLPF, and the short form of OLPF is that it is some sort of a diffusion in front of your sensor to get rid of the moi look, you know, this when somebody's wearing a suit and you get this rainbow pattern on it. This is what an OLPF try to get rid of. It also makes the contrast and the focus fall off pretty smooth. That's why you don't want a super unsharp lens, and the 35 is a great lens, and it was glued to my Z6 III. I did everything with this lens. I also had the 40 f2, which is a soft lens, but more evenly soft. The only thing that I didn't like or never liked on the 35 1.4 was the flare. I'm not a flare type. Like, sometimes I do like an anamorphic look, but if the flare gets too much and I want to like look over and underneath the flare, that's too much for me. So yeah, sorry for that. I love the Helios, which does have flare, but it also have this swirly look. So then I'm willing to compromise on the flaring. But what I'm talking about is commercial work, social media work for clients. In 90% of all projects, they don't want any sort of messed up image. That's why I choose to go with the Sony lenses. And yeah, that's nothing new. Sony lenses, they work great on Nikon cameras, but particularly with the ZR, they work awesomely. I know there are a few videos out there with this pulsing thing that's going on in the image, but I found out that on default this camera has this, like, you know, product focus mode, and so if you put something in front of the camera, it'll focus on the thing that is closest to the lens. If you do a talking head and you have this product focusing mode enabled, you will get this jitter, like or pulsing, the lens pulsing in your images. So turn it off. You will be amazed how great Sony mount lenses will work, because it's not just Sony lenses that work, it is even Like the Sigma, I used the Sigma 24-70 and 70-200 on this commercial, passion project commercial, and it worked flawlessly. Like, it was on point all the time. The focus was there every single time, which amazed me. I haven't had that much luck with Nikon lenses, so to be fair, I just used like the 1.4s and the f2 40mm, which, yeah, what else? I think I used the 24-70, which was great. But even then, sometimes the focus got lost on things that were walking in front of the camera, or like the light. So there's this issue with every lens and every camera. If the backlight is too bright, it won't focus because there's no contrast. You can't see the eyes because everything gets blurred by the light. But I'm not talking about this extreme situation. I'm just talking about, like, if I walk backwards, sometimes those lenses would lose my eye and wouldn't focus back, you know? Like when you do this thing just to give it a new try, yeah, I wasn't able to do it. So right now I'm filming on the 20mm f1.8 and it never loses me. Like, it got my eye all the time. In 90% of every, or let's say 99% of all situations, it got me right away. And that's also the case with the 24-70 Sigma, the old one, the first one, and the 70-200. I also have no issue with the Tamron Z-mount. So maybe it's because the Z-mount lenses from Nikon are too old for the ZR, and it is too fast to get them to the focus point. But yeah, the 35, the Tamron 35-100 is like, when I'm not doing a talking head like this for YouTube with, or vlogging with the 20mm, it's this all the time, like 35-100. Yes, I'd like to have a 28-100, but this extra little bit of wide angle would probably make this lens so big that I could go with a 35-150 from Tamron. Nobody needs this except for wedding photography, which is a great lens for that. What else do we have? Oh, the audio? Dude! Next thing that surprised me was the photography side. Not just the focus or that you are able to take photos with it. Oh yeah, you probably won't expect it, but the low light capabilities of this lens. I know, you're talking about like the weird greenish, purple flickering. Well, yeah, you see this concert? Like with the German rapper? This was shot on the Helios, actually, and the 40 f2. So, I gotta say, it looks freakishly awesome. If you expose right, you won't get those problems. I think this flickerish thing is there, yes, but it's not that. It's overhyped. What's the opposite of overhyped? Positive things, right? If you overhype negative things, that's what this is about. Photography. I'm not talking about the great image quality of a Nikon camera when it comes to photography. I am talking about the assist that sits inside or in front of your camera, like the OLPF when it comes to photography. So the OLPF gets rid of like some or a lot of the red spots on your face. This makes the post process when it comes to portraits so much easier and quicker, but it's also the screen. So I'm not always able to take my laptop with me and show everybody the portraits that I just shot. That's when the monitor, like, it is not just a flip LCD screen, it's almost a monitor on this camera. So it is so bright that I can turn the camera towards the subject and show them the pictures that I just took of them. And the client is really appreciating that. It's an amazing camera. I miss the EVF, but damn sure I don't want it if that means I have to get a smaller display. This camera is everything from an EDC camera to commercial work, social media work, content creation, definitely a documentary and a behind the scenes camera. So with that being said, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.